Hello and greetings. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you for tuning in. This is another episode of your favorite show, Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, we continued reading in our novel study of War of the Scaleborn. We saw an attempt of Viranoth to utilize some of her turncoat young order dragons to team up with eradication and kind of pincer attack and take the Algathar Academy, but they had wind of what was going to go down and they managed to stave off the attack. So it was kind of a stalemate. Nothing really happened, but it did lead to a fateful decision. Alexstrasza has decided the only way they can really turn the war in their favor is for her to sort of offer herself in a toe-to-toe battle against Viranoth. So as we wind down towards the climax of that book, we should, in the next few episodes, find out how that goes. We've also been playing with our mage here in Warcraft Classic, and she's going to jump in and continue in the Wetlands. So stay a while and listen. She's finally there. And while I would be lying if I didn't say, you know, the love of my life and my ultimate paramour is Lady Gleekon, the great... Oh, we've got to log out and log in because Questy is lame. My gaming partner, my life partner, mother of my children. But, you know, she's working tonight. I worked all day, so two ships passing in the night kind of situation for that. So Valentine's Day will have to be celebrated differently, maybe over the weekend. But if I was going to have to pick a stand-in and hang out with any other lady tonight, it would have to be Millie here. Another character that is just near and dear to my heart. She is a fun little cutie pie. So we have just made it into this zone, and we are going to search for some incendicite, which I believe is in the upcoming cave. Let's put our buffs up. Let's make ourselves some delicious water, and we'll make ourselves some bread. Who doesn't want just a loaf of rye bread? Drink some of that water. I'll take a drink too. I'm excited to do this zone. Excited to play with Maleficent. As she continues and wraps it up, we'll hit our dungeon quest. I've been alluding to that for a while. We're going to have a 20 episode series where we are really focusing on 4 of the game's dungeons. Farinell is almost ready. I've been doing the slow grind on him. He is about 90% of the way to leveling up to 30, and then he'll be caught up. Hopefully Millie doesn't have to do any grinding on her own. Probably not. She's barely started the zone, and she's already a quarter of the way into 29. So let's see if we can find... Now, luckily, she can already mine. So... as I mentioned, you may find yourself in a situation, as I have, where you have to do this quest without a miner. And if so, fret not. People often post this incendicite ore on the auction house. It's not that expensive. The problem is actually finding it. It is... You need 6 for the quest. You can perhaps find 6. It took me a few different days to... I'm going to get attacked. You little so-and-so. I've also been questing, like I said, making the spreadsheet that I've mentioned on the show. I'm making slow progress on that. It's fun. I try to do a little bit every day, but there's just, you know, a lot to do. Okay. And a lot of other... I got a lot of irons on the fire in the different games that I play. So, we will... By the time we need it, that thing will be done at the rate we do this show. I got some poison. I don't enjoy that. So yeah, I guess we're just going to kill spiders and see if we can find our way to incendicite ore. Now, if we get lucky and we find, like, nodes, perhaps we're only going to need to mine 2 or 3 nodes. Now, the reason I brought up my off-camera thing is because one of my characters is a mage, and so far I've just been crushing it. Like, even when I go to the other zones, or like I just started Westfall with that. I'm running him, and like I'll go find the toughest mobs possible, just for the fun of it. And I don't believe that character. Maybe like I've went AFK and he's died, but other than that, he really has had a good run. Let's eat. We gotta eat, drink, and be merry. I did find myself running for my life. Not a lot of deaths. 0, maybe 1 death. But I found my current kryptonite with him. I don't think it'll last forever. It's something he'll outgrow. But it's fighting casters. Fighting the Defious Pillagers that spam fireballs and some of those gnoll shadow casters. They really pack a wallop for my poor dude, and he's too low level to have counterspell yet, so I really don't have a lot in the arsenal, so it's just a matter of keeping that dampen magic on him, and then seeing who can cast faster, and I can usually beat it, but the margin for error is small. But that's fine. It's also because I'm fighting characters that are basically his level, so I think if I had the level advantage and stuff, it'd be okay. I keep getting hit with this poor poison, Millie. Oh, Millie. Milady? Millie lady?
Inventory is full.
Really? Millie? Come on. Well, we definitely want that to sell. What can we sell here? I have 3 large venom sacs that will be useful. Need to turn that in. I guess I can sell Crocodile meat? She's really got good stuff that I don't want to waste. Okay, we'll sell the Crocodile Smith. So she's got a there is a little vendor guy out in the middle of the road here, so we can eventually get to a spot where we do that. She could also potentially set her hearth around here. I'm gonna get this chest, and we're gonna need to dump everything. I don't really know what we're gonna do.
Can't carry any more.
Okay, well, she's got these heavy wool bandages. She doesn't need those. She should actually put a stack here. Now, this is a shame because she doesn't need this stuff for the most part. It's all good stuff. Let's see. I don't want to get rid of that. Spider Ichor actually doesn't sell for very much, so for now, we're going to go ahead and open this. But I feel like killing these spiders is going to give us...
Inventory?
Oh my gosh. I didn't realize there was a bow to be had also. I guess... the linen. I guess I'll toss this linen too. And then... she can... Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, I guess I'm tossing this bolt of woolen cloth. I can't believe. I wish that I could kind of... but I can't move the loot.
Inventory is full.
Okay. So... there's a lot of stuff in this little chest. And a shining war axe. Okay, there's an incendicite ore. It took like 1,000,000 years. The mobs are going to respawn just waiting on me to loot that chest. I really don't want to get rid of a green. I guess I could get rid of one of these gray weapons I just picked up next. Crisp spider meat. Okay. Let's pre-drop. I guess I'm gonna just have to get rid of that gray bow. Because I know this is gonna...
It's too far away.
We're gonna have to make a run to that little cellar guy. 1 ore, alright, well I was hoping we would do better than that, but apparently not. So now you know you get 1 ore by hunting in here per thing. So we got to find 6 of them. Oh, spider silk is a useful find. Fine. I'm gonna just eat my... I will eat my, oh, bro. I didn't even get well fed. So that was a complete waste of my sagefish, my final one. I was at least hoping for a little 15 minutes of mana regen, but I should have paid attention to where the mobs were. But I did not.
Inventory?
You stupid bunghole. Alright, fine. I guess this gray axe, even though it probably sells for a pretty decent amount. Alright, so that hunter's out here. I just saw a night elf hunter walk on up. Who knows what they're there for? They might be here for the incendicite. It's possible that you get a hunter that has mining, because engineering is so meta. It's annoying. It's good for melee, but I really don't. Especially in Classic, it is not... It's not an easy class to level, in my opinion. Got the poison again. This is called leech poison. You know what's interesting is the... I don't think I've actually done this quest the au natural way because I knew I couldn't mine it with other characters, so I think this is our first time we're actually doing it. And maybe not, I don't know. Who can say? Just looking for nodes. Nodes of big glowing pink. I do like that that hunter just immediately saw me and dipped. They're like, nah, I'm good. Some of these we're not getting XP for, and that's okay. Hello, leech spider. I'm coming for you. So my wife did like the present. I did a, I think I said last time, I did a sort of a Valentine's Day in a box. I ordered a case of wine from a company that she likes a lot, a winery that's about an hour away. So we go there every once in a while, but you know, when something's an hour away, doesn't always lend itself to a quick jaunt over. So it's more like a treat that we will get sometimes on special occasions, especially if we happen to be down there or up there. But the spider pelts does sell for a lot. That is worth it. Thanks. What is this large antivenom? I don't have them. Alright, you know what? Screw it. I'm getting rid of the venom sacks. Because it's going to be too long, I think, before we can even learn. Alright, there's another big shiny pink ore. And then I ordered some massage oil. So she has been saying that she's been in dire need of a massage, and we're not young anymore. You know, when I was courting her in our younger teenage days, I did more. I put in more time on that sort of thing. I'll just ditch the rough stone, I guess. And you know, as we've gotten older and gotten into middle age, I do not treat her in the same way when it comes to that. Yeah, we can get more than one. And that is definitely my bad, you know. It's something I could be better at. There's a tin vein, I want that too. So she's been lamenting that she wants one. And then there's also this slight, like, bitterness on my... Not bitterness, but, like, stubbornness, because I broke my back when I was 21, So I like did the full back broken. I was in a full body brace for a year. A whole other story. Maybe sometime I'll get into it on a different. If I haven't already, I don't know. I've been doing the show years, so it's possible I've already bored you guys with the story. But the end of it is that my back is terrible, terrible, and sometimes I can't sleep. I walk. It makes me walk with a heavy limp sometimes. It is just a lifetime of back pain that happened from the age of 21 on. So when it gets really knotted up, oh man, a back rub is, and it's got to be a brutal back rub. Like I need like a Macho Man Randy Savage back rub. Like I don't care. I need you to basically just, it gets so knotted up. You got to treat me like a bull. Just go deep. Don't worry about pain. And she is not one to do that. Every once in a while, like if I'm truly in agony, where sometimes it will be so bad, like it hurts to breathe. I can't take deep breaths. It'll just be, the muscles will be too knotted up, and my sciatic, it really gets me. So if I'm really in that much pain, she'll do her best. But so then over the years, those things kind of add up in the little minor, not squabbles, but just spousal dynamics. We've been together for probably 20 years, so well, more if you do the math on our age of our children. But she does work hard, and she deserves it. And so we got the wine, got the massage oil, and then on a card, on the little Valentine's Day card, I put this all inside the box. Like I just added this into the box that the crate of wine came in. And I gave her a cute little card, and it was like, this card is redeemable for one full massage or whatever. So I just thought it'd be a cute little present, and yeah, so we got lucky on one, it was 2, and then we got not lucky on another. I'm gonna eat and drink a little bit. So we'll see. She can cash that in whenever she wants, but probably this weekend I would imagine we can have a nice night, drink the wine. It is really good wine. I do like wine, but my wife likes to drink sweet things, and I don't. So it's the wine that is probably the one that we like the best is a Rosa. It's a little darker than a normal rosé wine. It's a little bit more full-bodied. So I like it more, but it's sweet enough for her to really enjoy it too. Like there's just some wines that are too much. Like sangria is too sweet for me. Moscato is too sweet. I prefer not. And then white wines are okay. They're a little too, that's a common ground for us typically. They're a little bit too bitter for her. They're fine. White wine's fine for me. I'll drink white wine. So once we discovered that this winery made this particular kind of wine, it was a pretty good kind of a game changer-ish kind of thing for us, because we're like, oh, this is great. It's got that sweetness that she likes. It's got the kind of the red elements that I like. Everybody wins. When we get out of here, we're gonna have to go sell. Okay, because we're just so desperately in need of selling. Now there is a shop, I think, right here. However, this quest is supposed to be turned in there. I guess we're gonna sit on it for a little while, and I'm gonna come up here and turn that quest in. That's what we'll do. So let's escape. Kind of, or is that? That's tin. Might be worth the detour to go up and get that tin. So this zone, it's so weird the way that the zones work, and I really feel like, in some ways, the Alliance, I mean, it just really depends on how you do your quests and how you like to play. But the Alliance has, the starting zone's fine. They're all pretty much, you know, on par with each other. Then, as you immediately transition with the Horde, you have two choices. Well, Silver Pine's a pretty smooth experience that winds up with Shadowfang Keep being the kind of end of the road, and that's fine. Shadowfang Keep is good, and it works. It's like a typical zone experience. So, no problems there if you start to go that route. It starts to get a little bit dicey after that because Hillsbrad starts to be a little bit hard for a Horde. It's easier for Horde than it is for Alliance, but to finish out the zone, that's, as you saw with Farinel, it starts to be a little dicey. And then where do you go from there? Well, you can't really transition right from there to Arathi. Alterac is kind of a weird zone, so it's not going to work there. So you kind of are stuck moving, or yeah, moving over to the Kalimdor. So right there, it's kind of annoying for the Horde. Now, what should I throw out? Oh, these gooey spider cakes. Yeah. Should I throw them out? Because that could really replace that. Those sell for a decent amount. Mana potions are useful. Alright, gooey spider cakes it is. That's getting thrown out. So then with the Horde, you run your zones and then it's immediately Barrens for almost everyone. And Barrens starts out good, but then it really scales up. And so if you're like an OCD person, it's a little annoying. Because then you're quickly having to decide between, do you want to run quests that take you into Ashenvale or Stone Talon are really your other options, where, and then do you come back and linger back around with the Alliance, with the Barons. As we've seen, working your way into 1,000 Needles is terrible. That's extremely hard, and it ends in a really weird way. It's annoying. So it really kind of gets convoluted, and you have to do some hopping around. Whereas with the Alliance, okay, so other than... Nope. I'm just gonna leave it. I don't like to leave things. I don't know why. It's just some weird little thing I do. I always feel like I've gotta collect all my loot, even if I'm gonna trash it. I thought so. Gotta be careful I don't draw that other spider either. And then, yeah, so, sure, if you're the elves, Night Elves, you go into Dark Shore, and then you can go into Stone Talon, Ashenvale, and those areas. It's not ideal, but it is still a very doable curve. If you stay on track. And then with the Alliance, man, you've got Westfall, which then kind of feeds into Red Ridge. You have got the Wetlands here, or Loch Modan. You have all these different comparable levels. Then you can go into Duskwood. You can kind of follow that curve without ever hitting Kalimdor. Then go back up and mess around some with Hillsbrad, even though it's a little bit of a pain to get to. And then you can mess around with Stranglethorn Vale North and some of these other things. And if you feel like you're not there, you could always pop over to Kalimdor. The problem with this show is that we've spread ourselves too thin in a way that's crazy. So what the point of this show was to do everything, right? What I did was I decided to make myself spend so much time not thinking about the fact that we will replay a lot of chunks when we go to we do the classic, when we do Burning Crusades, when we do Wrath of the Lich King. See, I could loot those, but I'm going to save it for others. Because I'm not going to go put it on the auction house. Even though, in a way, I'd be kind of paying it for it in that sense. I also feel like leaving the ore for those that come is also, you know, not bad. So we need to go sell at our little guy here. We got to make our way back to Iron Forge. How is our gold? 2 gold, but we did just level up. Oops, I wanted to use Blink. There we go. What I wanted to do. Blink is pretty good. I was reading a Reddit thing and it was just talking about the why taking engineering is essential in hardcore, and the argument was basically, well, you've got to take it in hardcore because of the target dummies.
I need to get closer.
The target dummies, there's just, I guess, nothing as useful, but I also feel like, I don't know, I was not cranking out target dummies. I guess if hardcore
Can't carry anymore.
and survival was my only mission, I might sing a different tune. Should I drop my one thick spider hair? Guess so. But then they were saying,
Inventory is full.
Okay, I'll drop my, now I'll start dropping these conjured since I'm on my way to a shop. I don't have to worry about constantly re-summoning that, or re-conjuring it. So, yeah, I just feel like it's a more smooth experience for Alliance. I feel like I've always felt like the game was designed to be more friendly towards Alliance in many if not most respects. I feel like the layout of the cities, Stormwind is, in my opinion, easier to navigate than Orgrimmar. Although you could argue. Ironforge, I think, has a slight edge over Undercity. Now, Thunder Bluff, that's a good one. The way that it's set off in spokes is kind of annoying, but they're not that big. And I guess a very good argument is that it has everything in the center. You can do your vent, your repair, and blacksmith and forge and everything right next to the bank, right next to the auction house. It's all right in the center. What kind of ore is that? Ooh, iron. Can she do that yet? I mean, I'm not. Oh, never mind. I'm not even going to get it right now because I'm curious if I can, but I also will. I'm going to have to trash so much stuff if I grab it. Oh, it's like way up there. Never mind. Too far above. And we are so close. The vendor is like literally right there. Then we'll come back out and do some of these. I want to turn in the Incendicite. But I feel like we can wait rather than forcing the travel right now. Let's do some of these couple of gray quests here. We still have a little bit of time on. That one's a 22 quest, and these two are 21s. And we'll go back. I remember doing them. I think one or two of them opens up to some other stuff, and they'll send us over in this general direction. We need to go up here and turn that into while we're here. Might as well run up before we even get the quests and turn in the Fury that runs deep. That's a Stockades quest, so we don't need to necessarily read it. But I don't even know when we started. Honestly, I didn't pay attention. Part of my problem is that I have all these stupid things. Yeah, let's sell those. I don't know why I have all those. What's my spider meat sitch? I do need the gooey spider legs. I don't need the crisp because I don't have the Red Ridge goulash. I mean the condor meat. But I do need to save the gooey. So I can get rid of the crisp. Not that I have that much of it. Small spider legs is gray. Right? And yeah, see that's the spider ichor goes with that, which we're not getting that. Not worth it. Everything else. So small spider legs are gray. The gooey ichor I'll sell. See, that doesn't sell for very much. I knew it didn't. Crisp, like I said, we need to keep the crisp. No, we need to keep gooey. Yeah, the crisp we can sell. We can definitely sell these greens, thank goodness. Make a little space there. Now she's getting some gold. Gooey, spider palp, that sells for, those both sell for good. Gooey, we need spider palp and the fist size spinnerets. Her bag sucks. What's up with that 4-slot bag? What's up with that, bro? Alright, so we don't have all the space in the world, but we have some. Okay. So now, just to get it out of the way, let's go up and turn in this guy, the Fury that runs deep, and then we'll go over and pick up Tramping Paws, which I think is kind of a mini 2-part quest. Let's see if I can find out what time we start. Oh, you know what? I know what time. I know what I can check. I got a text from my wife. So we're about halfway in. Looks like we started at 45. I am ready. It's a 3-day weekend because of President's Day. I don't know about you guys. I am ready for that. We're now living in the post-Super Bowl era. So, oh man, I don't know. That's crazy about I heard about the shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you imagine that? Your team wins the Super Bowl. You're freaking stoked out of your mind. And then there's a shooting? Like, I just can't even imagine. There's just so many broken people out there in the world. It's real sad. Real sad. And it sounds like it was multiple people working together, so I wonder what the story behind all of it is. Like, it seems crazy. Be interesting. Alright, you take... Alright, so I
finally got to feel what it is like to be on the receiving end of death. Good.
Of death? I remember turning that quest in with other people. Got some XP from that, that's good. Turn in that dude's head, so that's one more slot. I don't know where we put it. I must have had it right at the end, because... Oh, the hammer took its place. We'll sell that too. I don't need a two-handed hammer. Of death! So I got my wife to, she's been reluctant. I don't know why. She's had some bad taste in her mouth, but for playing D&D. But my son has really been shying away. He loves playing with his friends, but, you know, he's 13 now. So he's in that just peak age of... My parents are not cool. I do not want to hang around my parents. It's so funny. Like, if I think about my parents when I was young, and I mean, it's a different generation, sure, but my dad was like an old drunk welder that was like worked 100 hours a week, and when he came home, he drank a beer and fell asleep, and on the weekends, or on the one day a week, we would go to church, and then he would make me do chores. Like, that's what parenting was like for me. That, you know, and I have a handful of memories where, you know, sure, my dad did some things, but it's not like my dad he wasn't like abusive or anything. He just... And, you know, we went to Disney World and sometimes I'd watch, you know, some shows with him, or he was really into playing pool, so he taught me how to play pool, and I, you know, to this day, I have a big passion for shooting pool. But he certainly wasn't playing video games, or tabletop games, or D&D, or spending the amount of time that I spend with my kids. And I think that's a very common story. It's just so funny that your kids, no matter what you do, your kids aren't going to think you're cool. You could be like you could be the most awesome person alive, and you could be like, yeah. Trembling Paws from Raphael the Green Warden. The moss-hide gnolls have lived in the wetlands peacefully for many years, but now grow in numbers. Their feet stamp flat the fence, bushes, and flowers, and their foul axes cut too much wood to fuel their fires. They are no longer in balance with the land. For the wetlands to survive, the gnolls must be reduced. Kill 15 mouse-eyed gnolls and 10 mouse-eyed mongrels. Hunt them to the south near the dwarven gate of Algaz. After you do this, return to me. Okay. Let's pick this quest up too, daily delivery. Actually, I don't. Let's not, because I'm pretty sure it's just like, hey, take this and go there. But this one I think is a two-parter, because then I think the second part wants us to go over here and kill. I don't remember. Might be a three-parter. Who knows? So, he's been so into D&D, and so I told I talked my wife in, and I kind of played the card. You know, honey, he's only going to be so young living at the house where he wants to do stuff with us, because I like playing D&D too. And I thought it would be fun for us to have a little family D&D night like once a week. And she loves it. She likes strategy. I just think she just really doesn't like the role playing. So we started it. We made characters last week. And this week we're going to kick off a campaign. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'm actually, for multiple reasons, I'm looking forward to this 3-day weekend. All right, here's some moles. Some moles. Some moss-hide gnolls. Here's a mongrel. I don't know if you guys have been playing Dragonflight lately. I'm behind. I just can't help it. I don't put enough hours in up to the game lately to really stay current and play with my crazy OCD style, so I end up just defaulting to the latter. And so I will, like, take forever to finish whatever the current questline is. But at the same time as I'm finishing it, I'll also be like maxing out whatever the latest faction is. So right now I'm working on whatever the archaeologist group is, where you do the digs every week and everything. I'm trying to, I'm like almost at the second rank. I'm still far behind. But when I catch up with Farinell, leveling him up, I will. See, this is why I wish I had Blizzard, because then we could just hit this whole camp. I didn't pick that style. Should have. There's a copper vein in the water. I don't want to kill that thing for it. I mean, I should actually, because I need the copper. Yes, run, little gnoll. Yeah, I should have used my wand instead of wasting my mana. Oh, we got silk. And I'm also, like, I have this urge to do the D&D with the new revamped editions that are going to be coming out. And then I've got my buddy at work. It's actually starting to grow, the IT guy. So we started this group we had four of us that work at my job. All have kids that are middle school age, like in the 12 to 14 range. They're probably, all of them are 13 to 14, let's say. So, last year, I had a little D&D group in my real life. I talked about it with some of my coworkers. I got my son into it last year. I played it with his little friends. I taught them how to play. I would do things on my own. What is that? The level 20. What are they? They're just going in there. She's a 28 what? What is her class? A rogue. She's just... Why would she do that? Is she gonna vanish? Well, she's using potions out the wazoo. Here, I'll pull some thread off her. Well, she doesn't seem to want the help. So she's either awesome or she's got a vanish she's willing to pick up. But she is fine. She's slaying it over there. I do not think at 28 as a rogue I could do what she just did. So I don't know if it's gear. I don't know if it's all the potions, because she does have like 1,000 potions on her. That was pretty good. That was impressive. Go in there and kill 5 of them at my same level. I don't think I can kill 5 right now. So that's pretty stinking impressive. I mean, sure, she probably popped her cooldowns like evade and stuff like that. I'm sure. That was pretty dang good. You know, she probably got... She potentially came in there smart with a sap or something like that. That's possible. So really, we're talking 4v1, and then if you... What? Stinker. Okay, we got the little... Oh, I must have hit it like in the wrong order. Where I hit with the Frost Nova after I was... Whatever. Let me summon some more food and then I'm going to eat and drink. She's crushing it though over there. I don't need that kind. I need gnolls. Moss-eyed gnolls. I need mongrels too, but I've already almost gotten all of them. So anyway, this year, 3 of these people all started at the job. One's like brand new, young, like 20-something years old. And then the other, so he's new to the profession, and the other 2 are just people that came from elsewhere, you know, changing jobs. So the one guy, the guy that is now my buddy that I've been doing painting with, his wife works there. She started there a year before he did. So she got wind somehow. I don't remember. I don't know how. I can't remember. Maybe I talked about it at a meeting. I really don't know. Like, I don't know. But somehow she got wind that I played D&D, and I guess her and her husband and their daughter play. So she told her husband about me, and then when he started there, he was like, "Hey, I hear you play," and blah, 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 blah. I was like, "Yeah, dude, we should totally get something going with the kids or whatever." And then he was like, "Yeah, well, there's this new guy, and I'm pretty sure he plays too." So, you know, he doesn't have any kids or anything, but he, like, is really, really, really into it. Really into it. So, he doesn't do the painting. He's never done it, nothing like that, but he wants to try. But anyway, so he came and he joined. He said he was interested in doing it too. And then word got around between those people with this other lady that works there too, and she does have a kid that also plays. And she's tried to do it with like her and her husband and him at home, but But just like with my kid, mom and dad are not as cool. So she's like, I want to encourage him playing. He's kind of annoying to play with, but maybe we could get something together where we play as adults and the kids can play separate. And so we started doing that this year. We've been doing it for maybe 6 months. Now, it's kind of ebbed and flowed because these kids have brought in some of their other friends and stuff like that. Hey, my friend wants to play with us too. It's really, really, really ballooned with all of these offshoots of little kids. To where there have been days where we've had 30 kids. So, 30 kids coming to play. We don't even play. We're just hanging out, either playing with each other, or if we don't have everybody there, we will just like shoot the breeze or talk or well, that's the same thing as shooting the breeze or paint or whatever. So it started to get, the problem was for the convenience sake, we all worked there, so we're like, you know what, this place, the company usually clears out on Fridays, let's do it here. We'll use like some conference rooms because I'm high enough up that I'm allowed to do that. I can come and go as I want. I have keys to everything. So I was like, let's use we'll use a conference room. And then there were so many, we're like, let's use a couple conference rooms and we'll just kind of do it that way. And meeting rooms where there's a bunch of tables and blah, blah, blah. And let's do that, and we'll do it on Fridays. We'll get the kids, and whatever, have the spouses drop off the kids, however it works. And the problem then started to be, well, one, it's a lot less fun to watch other people play. So when we were kind of in this transition phase where we were helping the kids a lot, and then sometimes some of us would be helping them. Some of us, we're adults, so sometimes if your work's not done on Friday, you're like, oh, well, I've got to go to a meeting, or I've got to, meet with, still got some work to do, or I've got life and I'm not going to come to this particular session. So our table is faulted, but the kids, there was just so many of them coming and going, and they had us to facilitate. And we were like, oh, well, guess what? Your buddies didn't come. You guys will just absorb, merge your groups today or whatever. Like, let this person play with you a little bit today, and we'll kind of just do what we say. And then the guy that was my buddy, he, the one that I've been, the painter guy, he was, you could tell he was really getting burnt on it. It was starting to get not fun. Staying late every Friday, and then he had some health issues where the doctors thought that he was potentially had leukemia or something like that. His blood cell counts were high. I'm not a doctor. I don't really know how that all works. I've never had to deal with cancer myself, so but things were looking bad. He felt, and between it all, he was just overwhelmed with everything. So he's like, I'm done, man. I'm not going to do it. His daughter didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like, all right, well. But then my son loved it so much, I wasn't going to abandon it. The other lady, she kind of stuck with it, but she would always come much later, or she'd drop her kid off and then leave and then come. Like, she was kind of became independent with it. And then the other guy, the young guy, he was super, super into it. But he just wanted to play with the kids. like he taught them. He was just playing so much. So then it really became the kids are all playing. I'm staying late at work on Fridays, and I am babysitting while I work on my computer because there's always, you know, work is never ending. So but recently my buddy, he has taken a turn for the better, and he you know, we started talking about the painting and everything, and I was like, you know what, I'm just bored there anyway. I used to paint all the time when I was in college. I used to paint Warhammer figures. I was like, I'd paint again. And then it has blossomed. So for the past month, we've been painting, and then because he has that channel, he reached out to Warhammer, or Citadel, the company that makes Warhammer. And he said, like, hey, we have all these kids. We do this club, and we paint, and we want to teach the kids to paint. How about you? And he's like really good at like PR and stuff. And so he wrote them all up this stuff, and he was like, we can promote it, we can make videos of it, and I'll put it on my channel, and blah blah blah. Why don't you guys send us some stuff? So they sent us like $500 worth of stuff at least. They're like, yeah, show, like, post using it. Here's some stuff. So they sent us boxes of stuff, and so we're gonna tell the kids this week to prepare, and then in a couple weeks we're gonna put it on and stream it. So it'll be pretty cool. And then the other guy, the young guy, we've been ribbing him. Come on, man, let the kids play, and because even his kids are ultimately, you know, at that age, they don't want to. Kids don't need us, you know, not like that. So they have been.
I'm out of range.
Outgrowing him, and he's. They don't want to push him out because they've been having fun playing with him, but he's starting to feel like a third wheel, and he's starting to get kind of where I was, where he's just taking his computer and being like, well, I guess I'm going to work. So he's like, okay, well, I've never painted before. I've never done it, but yeah, it sounds cool. Let's do it. So he's down. The lady, I don't know. We haven't talked to her really. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can escape this. This was a bad. I do have a potion I can use. Need be. But I did get myself. What it was is I drew the one, and it was too. There was too many. Okay. There we go. That combo of Frost Nova and Blink though is just too OP. We only need 2 more. We're doing pretty good. This is just a little bit grindy. This is kind of like back when we were doing like Defius, where they just... This is what WoW Classic's idea of a good time is. Just throw a kill list of 30 mobs at you. What it is forced grinding. Which, I will take forced grinding. Give me the forced grinding. So, it's possible that I will include this if the streaming goes well. I might post it on my channel too. So you guys can kind of see, we'll see how it all goes. Maybe not the streaming, but maybe I'll capture it. And I'll make sure it's cool with whatever kids' parents and everything first before I do anything like that. But if the content is worthwhile, if it's not, you know, I could put it on the channel, but make it like an unnumbered episode and just relax. If it has any entertainment value. But it'd be cool, you know, because I could plug my friend's channel too. I see value in it. And I'm looking for, but one funny little end to that story, you know, also I'm very bad. I swore to myself, because the last time I did a play episode like this, I just got so emo, and I spent so much time. I spend so much time talking about freaking inanities, which I know you guys don't care about. So boring. We're here to talk about this game, and this game, it's just, I have to get better about searching. I think what I did the other day when I just grinded was actually kind of a good idea. I set an idea in my head of something to talk about game related, and I stuck to a kind of a script, and we basically spent the whole time talking about that. I need to do that. Note to self. I'm just literally, I've had this thought, but it's kind of been nebulous, and now in my head, I'm getting there. So I'm going to try to be better about that. I'm going to try to pick, if I know I'm just grinding, sometimes when we're bopping around from quest to quest to quest to quest, totally cool. The show writes itself. But in a situation like this where we really just did 2 quests over the course of an hour, and so we had a couple moments, and then the rest is just we grind together. It's probably about 1,000 more times entertaining and relatable if I talk about things related to the game. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to try and at least pick one topic to make my conversation piece. That's my vow to you guys, to improve the quality of the show so you don't have to keep hearing about my stupid life. But since we're already plot committed, let me tell you the funny little end to this. So there's a guy, we got a new IT guy this year, a new head of IT. And he's cool. I've had a few. We had a lady that worked there for a long time when I started. I love her, but she got moved much higher up the chain. She's like head over. She's like the queen of all IT now. Like, she doesn't work on our site anymore. But she pops in from time to time. She's great. Love her to death. Then we got this guy that was really good. He got a promotion after a couple years too, but he was great. Naiad was his name. So I still see him from time to time. Still works for the company, but again, not on site. So we got this new guy, Richard, and he's cool, but he liked it. He liked what we were doing, and he's wanted to play, but they have different hours, so IT like has to work later than us. So it's like you could tell he wants to be part of this whole D&D crew we have. So he recently, just this past week, he goes, you know what? I'm just going to be like working. I'll bring my computer and I'm going to sit with you guys. Like, I want to do it. I want to play and paint and everything. So we got a new recruit. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're growing. And my wife for Valentine's Day, she got me a new set of brushes and some more figures to paint. So I'll be breaking that out at the meeting too, at this week's Friday. All right, so he says, by reducing the gnolls number, you have tended to the health of the wetlands. Although my faith in your people has been taxed in the past, gnome, it may yet be restored. How much do you know about gnomes? I guess they're around here. Fire taboo. He'll give me some freaking mushrooms for doing this. That was a great quest, so we didn't get a lot of XP for it. The moss hides are cutting the trees of the wetlands, using the trees' flesh to warm themselves with fire. I will suffer this pain no longer. Rid the moss hides of their crude flints, the tools they use to make the fire. The flints are borne by all the moss hides except the smaller gnolls and moss hide mongrels. So now it's like, hey, kill every moss hide except the one. So now we can move into this area. We can go down here, but if you look at it, it's the Fenrun. It's the ones that are in the camp, so that's a bad area to actually grind them at. We'll grind them out through here. So we will go here to this that guy and pick up that quest too, and that's probably where we'll wrap for today. But I appreciate you guys for listening. It's really too self-indulgent for me to spend so much time blathering, but it's easy. It's easy to talk about your own life, you know, and it's freaking boring. And it's now being a good listener doesn't help me make a show. But Cuzzy said in the comments the other day, he's like, oh man, you know, and you're good about being able to talk and just keep talking. And it's true, I can do that. But it's much more, find myself struggling with that. I'm really trying to work on being a listener listening to listen and not just listening for when it's my turn to talk. That's my personal goal on bettering myself.
Greetings, traveller!
Greetings!
Don't suppose you might be heading in the direction of Menethil, would you? If you're not, I'd suggest you stop there. It's a good place to purchase goods and even have a pint and relax. Now, if it just so happens that you're heading in that direction, I don't suppose you'd mind taking this bundle of crocolisk skins to James Halloran, the tanner. I'd do it myself, but my wife's been in quite a mood lately, and I'd like to put off facing her as long as possible.
You better hope she doesn't read the quest text on that buddy boy.
Oh, do I have a deal for you?
Oh, well, I hope so. Here. I think we do need those. I think we need to gems on that. Okay. Alright, cool. So this is, I guess, where we'll stop. Like I said, that's just dropping us off there. Those two we're not going to pick up quite yet. Not worried about it. That'll be where the finale will be doing that quest. We can actually get those two quests as well as part of this. They're interesting to get, very difficult, but we'll cross that bridge literally when we get there. So we'll do this, and like I said, I think this is the end of his. We can turn that in. So next quest, we'll wrap up this, and then we'll finally go back and explore Menethil Harbor. But you know what time it is. Another episode in the pipe 5x5. Thanks, guys. It's Valentine's Day. Love is in the air, and I love all of you. I'll see you next time on Lore of Warcraft.